Hello everyone, I'm Brian Miller, and this is the Newsnet Weekly Roundup, the weekly show where I break down the biggest news stories out of the Star Wars universe. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to be notified anytime there's new content. Without further ado, let's get started. And so it begins. The big marketing campaign for one of the biggest shows of the year, Disney Plus's Ahsoka, is now underway, as Empire Magazine has revealed its cover for the upcoming July issue, which hits shelves on June 8th. It features Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano right up front, with a very special exclusive cover for subscribers unveiled as well. The magazine is also promising the reveal of exclusive pictures, as well as new interviews with series lead Rosario Dawson, series creator Dave Filoni, as well as co-stars Natasha Liu Bordizzo, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, the late Ray Stevenson, Lars Mikkelsen, and Jon Favreau. As usual with Empire, they will be dropping new content every other day leading up to the release of the issue. With this magazine coverage, Lucasfilm typically likes to kick off the bulk of the marketing campaign, and this likely signals that during the month of June, we'll get an official announcement of the release date as well as our second trailer and possibly more. Ahsoka is currently targeting an August release date, with an official announcement now mere days or weeks away. In a new interview with Entertainment Weekly, actress Ivana Sakno gave small details about her orange lightsaber-wielding character, Shin Hati, and Ahsoka. Shin was first revealed in the Ahsoka trailer that debuted at this year's Star Wars Celebration. In it, she appeared igniting the dark orange blade before attacking New Republic officers, as well as piloting a ship through space and shooting at an unidentified target. It was also revealed that Shin Hati is the apprentice of Baylan Skoll, played by the late Ray Stevenson. When speaking with Entertainment Weekly about the character, she emphasized how she wanted the audiences to be able to empathize with Shin, despite the character's evil side. I hope that despite her darkness of a character, we're able to also expand our understanding of that darkness within someone and the reason behind it. I love her. I really care so much about her, and I feel like it's my job to take care of her and protect her. Sakno also provided some details about the character's aspirations, the training that went into the lightsaber combat, and how she trained mentally and emotionally for the role as well. Shin is quite an intense and ambitious force wielder. She is very skilled in lightsaber combat. The training has to do with your connection to your mind and heart and body. And you really begin to, through understanding the history of Star Wars and the Force itself, see how that placates itself into your own life through the flow and learning how to navigate it within your movement. The full list of writers for the upcoming Disney Plus series Star Wars Skeleton Crew has been unveiled. Per a listing of the Writers Guild of America website, the majority of the series will be co-written by Christopher Ford and showrunner John Watts, who handled the scripts for episodes 1 through 4 and 7 and 8. Meanwhile, Myung Joe Westner will be receiving writing credits for episodes 5 and 6. The former team wrote Watts' first few films, the horror movie Clown, the thriller Cop Car, and of course, one of many writers who took a pass at the screenplay for the superhero reboot Spider-Man Homecoming. The latter writer has fewer public details about her, with her only credit being an episode of the upcoming Hulu murder mystery series, Career Opportunities in Murder and Mayhem. The show will be directed by Watts, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schnert, David Lowery, Jake Schreier, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Lee Isaac Chung. Described as having the spirit of Steven Spielberg's early movies, Star Wars Skeleton Crew is a story that follows a group of kids who end up getting lost in the unknown regions of the galaxy far, far away after making a discovery. Together with the help of a lost Force user, they go out on a quest to find their way back home. The series stars Jude Law, Carrie Condon, Julia White, Ravi Kobar Conyers, Kiriana Crater, Robert Timothy Smith, Ryan Kiera Armstrong, and Marty Metellus, the last of whom is reprising his role as the space pirate Vane from the third season of The Mandalorian. Star Wars Skeleton Crew will arrive on Disney Plus at some point later this year, most likely after the second season of Loki wraps up, which would put the series out in November or December. It was 3 years ago that Lucasfilm officially announced that Taika Waititi was developing a Star Wars film, and we still have no concrete information about it. Kathleen Kennedy said earlier this year that the script was missing a solid third act, and that Waititi is a slow writer because of his busy schedule. Now, in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, the filmmaker himself gave his own input on that status. I've got a really good idea for it. It's just as with all films, it's this middle part. You're like, what's going to happen? And when you look at all of those films that are so great, you're like, well, I guess they can't meet some smuggler with an alien sidekick. The middle part portion of the quote is really a case of semantics here. He does not necessarily contradict what Kennedy said. It's not necessarily that he is struggling with the second act, but rather that he has a great idea of where to start and where to end. He's just having a hard time figuring out the specifics of the character arcs. Even if the first two acts are mostly done, as Kennedy indicated, it's possible that Waititi either is not super confident and is revisiting them, or if Kennedy's comments were accurate, maybe he can't quite figure out how to bring it all to a conclusion he has in his mind. This is not exactly a new problem for storytellers, and it's certainly something that an Academy Award-winning writer will be able to solve once he puts in the time, which seems to have been the main issue with Waititi so far. Despite the fact that it's been 3 years, it seems that all parties involved remain interested. Waititi is also in talks to play a role in the film, as was probably expected. He will also direct and produce. Putting aside the industry-wide writing stoppage caused by the WGA strike, Deadline reported earlier this year that Waititi intends to start principal photography in 2024. No release date has been set yet. And finally, we have some new canon for you this week. Darth Vader Black, White, and Red #2, The High Republic Adventures #5, and Dr. Aphra #32, all released on Wednesday. Reviews for those entries into the canon timeline can be found on our website. And that does it for your Newsnet Weekly Roundup this week. All of these stories and more can be found in greater detail on our website, StarWarsNewsNet.com. Don't forget to check back regularly for updates to stories and breaking news out of the Star Wars universe. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also follow me on Twitter at BrianMiller1138 and catch me each week on my show, the Star Wars Canon Podcast. Until next time, may the Force be with you.